one? No, it's fine.
Welcome back to the Nanyang Championships. We're getting ready to go into heat number 3 of the group stage action.
Yes.
And I lied to you before. We are going to be covering DC versus Secret. And that means that Mineski versus Virtus Pro is going to be over there on Beyond the Summit 2. So go over there if you wanted to catch that action. We're going to be covering Secret versus Digital Chaos. That's Lumi, that's Shiver. Welcome back to the panel.
Thank you.
Now, is it fair to say that maybe Secret are going to be heavy favorites coming into this matchup there, Lumi?
Maybe. I think they're like the favorites, especially in this group. I think a lot of people have them also pinned down for winning the whole tournament. But I mean, and Digital Chaos is like the underdog.
You want some secret MV info?
Give me some secret info.
You had breakfast with him this morning.
Yes.
You can't sleep well in China.
Why not?
He was just complaining. First thing he said,
First of all, we're not in China, so everything should be good.
well, he said Asia and China, same thing.
Sure.
So
He said that.
He said that.
Okay, he said that.
He said that.
Okay.
More importantly, he didn't sleep well. And the first thing he said to me is, "We fucking lost."
Okay.
So all right.
Is this
So that
their
evens the odd a bit, I think.
is this their first series today?
For Secret, this is their first series. For Digital Chaos, it's their second, and they had a 0-2 against LGD, so they lost the series.
So they are
No
still
points on the
with
board.
0 points.
Yes.
They really are going to need a strong showing here.
They
Very
do.
unlikely they'll be able to 2-0 Secret, but hey, it's Dota. We never know. It looks like we already have a draft underway, so let's break it down here. Secret, they're going to be banning out the Doom. They banned the Shadow Fiend over on DC side. They rid of the Ember Spirit, followed by the Undying. First pick from DC is going to be the Winter Wyvern. A little bit of that EG flavor. It's like PPD style, you know?
I cannot get behind the first pick Bane. Bane is
They love Bane, though.
Bane's an excellent hero, but he's a very situational hero. Like Bane, he has a lot of weakness because he's a very single target hero. For example, Abaddon just hardcore counters Bane, which is one of EG's win over Team Secret in the
5 seconds.
Yeah. But do DC play Abaddon?
I mean,
So
Abaddon is just one hero, but you could also have Elsie. Press the attack as a deeper. I don't know. I don't think you could ever pick Bane first. If you tell that to PPD,
Radiant
will ask.
team pick.
I'm not even joking.
So I agree, picking Bane first is not ideal, but they do like it a lot as a lane-winning hero that also has an impact later on in the game and can help secure ganks. And they also like it in combination with a Slardar, and they kind of stole my thunder because I picked it before I said it. But we have seen them, of course, pick Slardar in first too, also at MLG last weekend as well.
Slardar is scary good.
I think Misery might be unbeaten on Slardar at this moment.
Misery.
They are 3-0
Misery.
against
Yes. So that is pretty crazy, and I think that kind of warrants the Bane pick early on, because they know that if they don't pick it in the first two, it's gonna get banned, especially if they already pick up Slardar, which they will.
Misery, man, I gotta say, like, people were a bit skeptical of him hopping into that position 3 in the
Yep.
off lane, and he did have a bit of a shaky start back during ESL 1 New York, but slowly and surely he's finding his groove. He has an impressive hero pool for being kind of newer to that 3 position.
Yeah.
He's shown great Slardar play, great Clockwork, great Brood Mother, which is something that teams are going to have to continue to acknowledge here. Probably don't have to worry about now that they've already committed to the Slardar, but I just wanted to give him that little bit of love right there.
He is apparently a player that, after a game, doesn't matter if they win or lose. Shit, I should have done that different. I should have done this. This is what I should have done.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if he wins or lose. Even if he wins, it's like, I could have done this better. And he's one of those players who, according to Puppy, is always constantly improving. Every game again. He tries to work on himself. And of course, he's been in the scene for a long time.
Yeah.
And the fact that he is still putting in that much effort and work to be at the level where he is, I mean, hats off.
And now it's going to be Caster's Curse. He's going to go 0-10. It's just going to be the worst
Probably.
thing ever. So we'll have to
Sorry,
see.
Misery.
DC continuing the winter theme here. Lumi, they're going to follow up with a Tusk pick.
So we saw that like a very odd interaction. I think in one of the Dream League game where when Bane was fiend stripping somebody.
Yes.
picked up the person that was
Yes.
fiend
I have to add, though, that person was also surrounded by spiderlings.
stripped. Okay, so maybe he couldn't click on.
So maybe the hitboxers wasn't, big enough.
Okay.
You know, I always wonder why didn't the touch just roll into the Bane?
You can,
Also the-
but you can't do that anymore. Oh, to the Bane to make sure. Yeah, yeah.
Stun him,
Stun him,
like,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
No way out, but
He was trying for style points.
He actually, like, while he was doing, like, he smashed the keyboard, press enter, smashed the keyboard, press enter again, because he had no idea what was going on.
he was like pressing everything.
Yeah.
Alright, so
5 seconds
I
remaining.
really like Wyvern a lot against Slardar because obviously there is the
Reserve
Poem Break
time.
helps you out with physical damage. At the same time, it kind of puts you in a precarious position, so there's a 1-2 play there. But when Slaughter puts on sprint and you get a curse onto him, it is by golly the freest ability.
He indeed dead.
Follow-up is going to be the classic Puppy Dazzle here, or it could be Pylai Die. They like to trade it off, but you get that sweet minus armor synergy between the amp damage and the weave, and they're on Dire's side, so Roche potential seems very easy at this point as long as they're able to maintain decent map control. Do have to say, though, kind of surprised to see the Night Stalker unacknowledged, not grabbed up from either team up to this point. Even a ban on Sven coming out. Oh my goodness. Are we going to be seeing a Meepo?
I think the Sven ban is also to just make sure that there's not going to be any extra armor on Digital Chaos. Obviously, Lich is still in the pool, which is also kind of preferred, normally in combination with an offlane hero like the Doom, but, you know, Doom gets banned out almost 100% right now, so...
We're going to see a Meepo.
Meepo is an action. I think that is one of those things that if you're playing against Secret, you either have to have a plan against him. Winter Wyvern is not bad against Meepo, have to add that. Neither is Tusk, but otherwise you should ban him out.
Yes.
It's one of the two.
I think if you're going to ban him out, I think second phase ban is Jolly Warrior.
Yes.
Yeah, they're too late now.
Yes.
I think they already know. I think they saw the Sven ban, they're like, oh, we forgot about the Meepo here. Now we got to get something that will help against the Meepo now.
I wouldn't mind seeing, in that case, the Lina coming out from Digital Chaos.
The Wisp.
Is it Wisp tiny?
Ush, who is their stand-in now, says he loves to play Tiny. He got to play it in the last time, but it was an a la carte, and then we were like, I can't remember who I was talking to it about, but we were like, we don't know DC to play a lot of Wisp, but apparently Owie does play a lot of Wisp. It's just EG didn't like to run Wisp a lot.
Yeah.
But apparently Owie plays it very well, so you put him together with a very solid Tiny player in Ush, and DC could have some magic there.
And then you relocate in and you get nightmared.
Yes. I mean, there is some possible hiccups.
Or you get
that Secret could
crushed.
bring out.
There's a lot of things that Secret already have against that IO. I'm kind of, like, I like it because I see the plan and I know they're really good with it.
He does also play Gyro, so it doesn't have to be a Tiny commitment.
Well, they denied the Tiny.
Really?
There you go.
Was it that scary that it's like, you know what? We're going to take that, and now we own an a la carte Tiny, which means there's probably not going to be a Meepo then.
It could be, because they could... Slardar for Misery, right? Then you got your Tiny for Envy, and then still Weeha Meepo.
I think Tiny is actually a really good hero in this patch that you can pick without even the Wisp, because especially if you go for a Blink Dagger too, like a lot of these... Think of a lot of these current patch heroes, like Dazzle and Wyvern, like they're kind of defensive, saving type of hero, but when Tiny blinks on you, he generally bursts you from, let's say, 80% health down to 0, especially with the support. So you get all of these quick, instantaneous pickups. And if you think about a patch where it's very fighting oriented, Tiny in the mid game, he has like 1500 health. He's not an easy hero for you to burst down. So
he does have low armor though, so he will need some help in that front. But the weave is there.
That doesn't stop Doom from being a high tier pick.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's where you hope you get that Lich in pairing. The thing is that when they commit to this Tiny early, it does definitely feel like a deny pick, because now there's a chance DC are just going to ban the Meepo.
It is a deny pick,
so they're just going to ban the Meepo now. I mean, that means Secret
most
not
likely.
Get it, so they'll have to follow it up with something else for Wii.
I mean, they still have like call down flag, curse, so if they feel like they don't want to waste a ban on it, they could deal with it, but like, what better hero to ban other than Meepo?
So where do they go after a Meepo then, if that's the case? Weeha is known, his top two has been Meepo and Wind Ranger, without question. They've already banned the Wind Ranger. I'm trying to think what his usual like third go-to would be. Lina?
if you're thinking about all minus armor, what about the Templar Assassin? Think of how fast that IO would melt. Also, they don't have a lot of things to break refraction, and we don't know the mid player yet. We don't know the mid hero yet for Digital Chaos.
That's true.
So that is, I think, a definite bonus for Digital Chaos, as they will have last pick. But Templar Assassin, I mean, it fits. You do have a very like low-ranged core lineup for Team Secret though, and that might be tricky, but if they get a Blink Dagger on either Tiny or TA or both, they're fine.
There is a very small chance of a mid Tiny as well. So you play more of a Blink Dagger Temple Control Tiny, and then you pick a true one-row carry for Envy, but I think that's a smaller chance compared to a Temple.
We don't see we play it often, but maybe they feel so confident against a team like DC. I mean, it's fair to say, guys, you know, DC, they obviously got, you know, their invite after Cloud9 declined, and they're playing with a stand-in. One of the star players, Uwar, was not able to make it, so they got Ush. So it's without question, this team is the ultra underdog in this tournament, and I'm sure other teams see that as well. I don't know if it's enough to be like, hey, let's experiment here a bit. It's game one of this best of two, but we'll see here. Long thought process here for the last ban on Secret.
I don't think DC is that worse compared to Team Secret, where they can't take the offense. So with that in mind, I'm not sure if you want to
Also, it's Secret's first game of the day. And Dakota, you said earlier today, like first game of the day, first series of the day, you kind of want to get those 3 points in, just to be good.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
I would go with the sentiment.
So Digital Chaos actually earlier today they did play the TA themselves.
Am I crazy, or is that clock not going down? And we're
It's
stuck at 7
paused.
seconds.
It's
Did they
paused at the moment. That could happen when there's captain disconnected. Then it will pause.
You know, I don't think we'll be able to see the
Yeah, that
chat
free
log from
timer
here.
toggling your Ethernet cable.
What's happening here? Yeah, they're like, yeah, we need an extra time to think about this last pick and ban here.
Uh,
I mean, we could theorycraft out of our ears at this point, but
yeah. Well, unfortunately, there has been some hardware issues. I mean, not just on our side, also for the player side.
What would be a good feature?
Uh-huh.
Hmm?
When the gamer is paused, the game time is paused, you pause the movie.
Yes.
they all should go like grayscale.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Just a visual.
Otherwise
And
we're sitting
can
here
we
just, like,
not see
talking, we don't
also
even
then
know.
a red cross over which player disconnected? Because
Yeah,
I'm gonna
right?
assume that at this point Puppy disconnected. That's the only explanation I have.
Did they all leave the game? It looks like possibly they all left the game.
No, they're reconnecting right
Oh,
now.
they're reconnecting.
But they all disconnected, so they're probably. I'm gonna say someone tripped over the cable.
Classic. Someone needs to
Classic.
duct tape that cable on the
I think
ground.
it was Dandy in one of the storylines.
Yeah, he did.
It's better than a booth catching on fire.
Those
so.
stories happen.
We have a full zoom in on your face, better. And now it's back.
They
Oh,
love
really?
to zoom in on my face. I don't know what it is.
You're the good looking
Unbelievable. They just
No,
love it.
that's because there's nobody changing the camera angles right now, so the only zoom in that is available is your face.
me.
It's just you. Sometimes there's someone helping out and actually, moving it around, but not always the case,
I want
unfortunately.
to say I also feel like that the person who controls the camera, I don't know if they speak English, so sometimes
They
like
do
on a
not.
big tangent like this, they might just cut to the camera because they see that I'm talking a lot, even though it could be something not too important. Or not.
Yeah.
Who knows?
No, but you're right. He doesn't really speak English because we tried communicating about the monitor earlier.
Oh, we're back. They
Same
got a
person.
ban. So we can go to the
Okay.
draft, and the last ban here from Secret was Magnus.
Magnus.
Magnus. So we go over to the Digital Chaos side. We're just going to give it to you verbally since...
Yeah, since there. Yeah, that's good.
These are the magic hand gestures that say screen transition back to the draft. And the last ban was a Meepo. Okay, so
Meepo ban. So
not
yeah,
surprised about that one. So we have to think about what is going to be the third grab here for Weehaw. He doesn't get his Meepo. He doesn't get his Wind Ranger.
but he
Lena,
has a chance of TA.
TA and Lena,
I think Lena very good as well. I would melt with against Lena as well.
they really are... it's really still...
And
up
think
right
of the synergy you have as Lena as well. You got your Light Strike rate to stand up from either the Avalanche or the Nightmare or the Fiend Script. Lena is a really good pick here as well.
Yeah.
As much as TA is great for the minus on I like Lena for just having a little bit more magic, because right now they're pretty much
Physical.
physical.
Yeah.
Although Tiny's pretty good at magic as well. Although, like, you guys
Cat, game! Throw it over to the game.
We're still waiting on last pick for Secret. All right, we see it right here. We'll tell you.
Yes.
Don't worry, you're not going to miss anything.
Don't worry.
But they're looking for the Weehaw here.
I actually
Mid
think
lane.
Lena is indeed. I agree with you too. That may be better than the TA.
I mean,
also
the burst would be
because
so good against the Wisp too.
and the minus armor. She actually profits from the minus armor as well because she of her Fairy Soul.
Oh,
And it's a
It's a
Mirana.
Marana.
Bane Mirana.
How did we not think about that?
Oh,
This is a mid run.
I always hope it's somewhere in the back of my mind every time I see a Bane. Maybe it's Mirana, but it never happens. So
Misery really likes playing Marana as well.
They played it that one time at
Yeah,
ESL
yeah.
1 in New York, but I wasn't convinced it was like...
So I'm asking, is this a mid slaughter of some sort and a offering Marana?
well, you mentioned earlier that it might be a mid tiny, right? And you get a Dazzle to support him, if you will.
That's true.
It might be
So
that.
we don't know. is what we're saying.
Yes.
Oh, we're actually.
We're going to
back on
put
the
out
draft.
all
Yeah, we're
possible
back on the
options,
draft.
so
Don't
we
worry.
are going to be right in some sort of way.
And it's
oh,
a Zeus.
I haven't seen that guy in a while. Zeus coming out here.
It's Vision Zeus.
Vision Zeus.
Mirana ultimate will happen. So
Can't be just for
you got some vision
that,
there.
though.
No, it's a bit of extra. You can also interrupt Bane
Mhm.
easily
Mhm.
with that as well. And
I am not sold on this.
I'm trying to justify here, okay?
I think Zeus has to go ham this game because his team requires, like, who's actually doing the damage? Wyvern's not doing anything. Tuss pick for utility. Wissa is just buffing up another hero. So either Gyro goes Godlike Beyond mode, or Zeus does. Like, you
Mhm.
just need a lot of damage from these two heroes.
We'll have
So
to see
you'd
if they
say you're
can
not
get
very confident in the draft of Digital Chaos, and so you think Secret's going to win?
Well, I also think that Secret's a better team, so they're kind of the safer bet.
It does
They
feel like
are.
Secret might be having a little bit of fun with this draft. They definitely were kind of mocking their opponent a bit with the snag on the Tiny, and now this last pullout, Mirana, which it looks like
It's a
Weeha's
Weeha.
picking it up. So,
I'm really happy with that.
He's flexing his hero pool a bit here.
Woo,
We'll
overlay.
have to see how it's going to go here as we get ready to hop into the game. We'll throw it over to our casters. It's going to be Mr. OD Pixel and Gods. Gentlemen, take it away.
Do we hear them? Because I didn't hear them.
Honestly relevant, and the hero's got this big agi gain, is actually kind of transitions pretty nicely into a carry, and early on you do huge magic burst damage, so it kind of fits that aggressive style roaming carry that can be played in the early game.
And Biri is dead. I think this man may be a dead man. They've got the Nightmare straight into the arrow. They don't even need to get the extra distance because they know they've got the damage to kill him. He'll pop the Arctic Burn, but Puppy there with the first blood for Secret. Easy kill, easy life for Secret as they start the game off 1-0.
Yeah, and I think the big thing for Secret's draft is they denied the Tiny, which to me was actually going to be a very important pick for DC of their draft. They picked the IO. The Gyro partner just doesn't match up anywhere near as much as having the IO Tiny, and even the last pick, Zeus, just felt like they were scrambling to try to find something that would fit their draft and give them some extra damage that the Gyro doesn't really bring on his own.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can see what they're trying to do with having that extra global element, something else to throw in when the Gyro IO relocates come in. But yeah, and I do like the fact that Secret obviously do go with the block pick Tiny. I feel like more recently we're seeing a lot of teams run the Tiny without the IO with a lot of success. And I think, you know, you are going to have a successful strat because you've got the Tiny tossing in heroes like the Slardar into the front lines. You've then got the setup obviously with the Nightmare to allow the Tiny to get in and lay down his combo to follow up. I mean, the synergy just feels more there with Secret, and it feels a little bit broken for DC because of the fact that Secret took away Tiny.
Oh yeah, and normally you'd think a team who got forced to like counterpick their opponents, take a Tiny, would be like, oh, their draft didn't come together, what's going on here? But it very much feels like this is going to work just fine. You've got a Tiny mid with some dual lane support. It's not an IO, but a Dazzle can stack for Tiny, can offer a lot of just support in general, heal him up, sustain him. And then the Mirana with the Bane. So you've got kind of two unconventional core heroes out of Secret, at least not with their natural partners in the form of the Tiny, but I think they can make it work pretty nicely.
I mean, I kind of like what they're doing here with the lanes, the fact that they're leaving Ush on the top lane with Aoi, so they're going to try and contest Misery's farm. They don't want him to get a good timing on the Blink Dagger and the Treads and such, but that's going to leave these heroes on the bottom lane a little bit more vulnerable. We already see Pylar die. Just harassing back Biryu with those right clicks and controlling the Wyvern, and in the lane as well, the fact that you're going to have E farming up against the Tusk, so he should be able to do alright here, and of course Bobo's got to be very careful when that Bane comes back to the lane and looks for that Nightmare arrow combo.
Yeah, so both teams kind of with dual lanes. It feels like both teams more likely to win their off lanes than their safe lanes in some weird way. Although, as I say that, Dazzle now returns to top, so we've at least got two heroes here to match up against the Gyro IO. And mid lane, Zeus versus Tiny. Probably just going to be a bit of a farm fest here, as both heroes should be able to sustain themselves. You've already got a magic stick on Weeha, and if anything, it's Weeha who's got the higher kill potential in this lane. It's going to be always a matter of how defensive TC plays, sitting back, staying out of the avalanche range.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. In terms of farm, though, they should both be able to find a fair bit. TC should be able to clear down the waves once he gets the, you know, he's got the bottle being ferried back and forward and picking up those runes. But top lane at the moment, in terms of farm, Gyro's now found a little bit as the wave has pushed in, so Us should be able to pick up a bit of gold here. All in all, it's going to be a very tough lane for the Gyro, especially if Puppy does hang around on that Dazzle. In terms of harassing him back, and looks like they're just looking to secure top rune as Puppy just makes the movement down in bottom lane, just moving in onto Bulb and Biri. The Bane and the Mirana doing their best to push them back, but I mean, in terms of game plan for DC, is it kind of going to be revolving on getting that Thunder God's Wrath online and getting the relocate online before we really see them go for something?
I have Zeus not actually the best roaming hero, unless he gets just this. With a haste rune he can roam, but for the most part Zeus wants to sit mid, farm, stack his neutrals, use the Arc Lightning just to get that kind of high GPM up, and then use it, like you say, the Thunder God's Wrath comes online, and then you've got that assistance for the other lanes. The key thing for DC is running dual lanes here. They didn't give the Mirana Bane lane a solo hero. So if they ever go in with a Nightmare, you can always toggle the sleep off using the other hero, which makes it very hard to get guaranteed kills off. But for now, DC's overall game plan is kind of just secure some farm in the laning stage, and then probably transition into like these 3-4-man group up, push down lanes, look for fights. They've got Gyro and Tusk, two heroes that can work really well together in getting aggressive.
Yeah, it's going to be key to see the Tusk maybe even make the rotation up to the top so they can try and go aggressive onto Misery, which is always going to be hard, of course, with the Dazzle hanging by. Puppey ready with the saves. But so far on in the mid lane, Weehar's farming very well. He's not having too much issue at all with the spam. Bottom lane, Envy getting incredibly low here. Pops the charges. They'll actually get the kill onto Bulba first now. Now it's going to be Biryu who needs to retreat here. Have the Nightmare here. Can he set up the Starstorm? He can. He gets the one hit down. It's not going to be enough to bring down Biryu. But nonetheless, getting a kill there again on the boards. 2-0 now for the side of Secret. And the offlane going pretty well as expected for this combo.
Yeah. Just nice defensive play. Holding on, he had the stick charges there. Envy was never really in that much trouble. He kind of knows that Biryu's damage output's limited to the Arctic Burn, and then it wears off. He's got absolutely nothing left to follow it up. So looks like AUI even going to swing bottom lane as well. He brought the bottle. Actually didn't get the bottle refill, which is a bit unfortunate for him, but this is...
Top lane, they realise that Ush is on his own, and this is Goad's time. Misery tanks a bit of the Rocket Barrage, but I don't think he cares. They've trapped Ush in the corner. He's trying to turn around with the Rocket Barrage. He's going to bring it incredibly close, but Puppey's there with the Grave. Misery finishes it off with a crush, and just some great awareness there from Secret, realising the IO is not going to be about, and that's going to be when Gyro's at his most vulnerable. At the same time, there's actually a kill onto the Zeus as well, so... things not looking great for DC here in the first 4 minutes.
So Tiny solo killing him. We kind of mentioned that a bit earlier. It's the Tiny who has that high kill potential. It looked like the boots pick up, and Zeus did not have boots. So this is kind of actually the standard mid Zeus build, going for a greedy bottle into Soul Ring before you go boots. But against the Tiny, I'd probably advise getting the boots much earlier on. And
TC, he's just died once. We missed it, but we'll see him this time. We're setting it up for Weehar to close in with the combo. There are going to be TP reactions, but not quite soon enough. They get themselves the kill. They back off, and Aoi and Biryu just arriving a little bit too late to do anything in return. Yeah. And Weehar and Pylai are going to be both safe in this situation here. Another kill for Secret, and DC just being pulled apart. And we're seeing these rotations from Aoi. You know, he's having to TP to towers. You know, respecting the aggression that Secret's applying, but he's just not able to do anything at the moment to help turn around these fights.
Yeah, unfortunately, those were both long TPs because the Tiny, the Zeus had just TP'd right back to lane. So he'd been killed by the Tiny, TPs to lane, which meant the defensive support TPs took a good 4 seconds plus to actually get there. And that's so much wasted time. For DC, that really cripples them when not only does the Zeus die again.
Oh, Misery with the crush on. So Ush, he's going to be fine. He has got Aoi bottling him up. Yeah. So, but he needs this. They can't really leave Ush on his own now against this lane because Puppey and the Jar are going to be on top of it every time looking to go.
They've got a lot of laning problems now. Zeus cannot lane mid without having boots against the Tiny. Tiny's just an easy solo kill on him. Biryu doesn't have boots, but it looks like he's going to be trying to get some XP mid.
Misery making a beeline straight for Aoi with a heal as well. Now he's just able to tether across to the creep wave, but that's of course going to leave Ush on his own. Misery trying to close in here with the sprint. He's going to have another crush, and there we go. Ush is going to go down. Puppey's got to be careful of the spirits. He will grave himself up. He's going to be fine. That's going to mean there's no grave here for Misery. And Misery trying to think of even going deeper for Aoi, but now he's going to back up. Aoi allowing Bob to chase up here. They'll turn around though as Misery picks himself up a double kill, takes down Aoi on the IO. And this is not great when you can't kill this Slardar and he's allowed to be this aggressive with his playstyle.
It's just, they're playing everything, like they're min-maxing so well here. Puppey going in like aggressively with the Shadow Wave nuke, getting himself and Misery getting away with a 1 HP Grave as well. And then Misery coming back in, gets tethered on and just says, hey, I'll just turn around and kill the IO now. So just great, efficient play.
Bottom lane Ush. It was like, it's called a safe lane. Maybe I'll have a better time down here. He's lucky that Aoi is around as heals him back up. Got to be careful of this Bane Mirana combo. We've already seen the CS for EU rack up pretty nicely, 27 for 4. More so though for Weehar. He's been having a great time mid. 41 CS at the moment on this mid lane Tiny. Level 8 as well, so he has got that nearly the maxed out combo on top of the ult. So anyone he finds on the map now is going to be an insta kill here for the Tiny.
And the highest Radiant hero level is level 6, so everyone is just food for Tiny. Any combo is going to lead to a kill. Luckily he was spotted rotating by this ward, so at least DC kind of know where he is, but it just means you're not going to be farming anywhere near it. TC only now about to pick up his boots, but has to be very careful.
He's got to be so careful if he goes down here.
Yeah.
Weehar is ready to jump. There is going to be the backup of Tusk, so maybe a save can occur. And okay, the creep spotted him out, so they're going to know Weehar's there. He's not going to be able to find anything with this one.
It's bottom lane. Envy has an arrow. If he gets the leap arrow, it could be a kill. But we'll be an easy salve up for Gyrocopter in the end.
A little bit of, I mean, I guess if Gyro has the chance to get out on a cooldown a barrage, you could easily turn it, so he's just playing it safely. Once he's on his own. Okay, I mean, there we see. There's a fair bit of damage. You're a pretty squishy hero here on the Mirana. They do have this rotation from Weehaw coming in, though, as well, so Weeha's ready to try and make something happen. Ushinawi, they're not aware that he's coming. The arrow is going to get whiffed, unfortunately, so they won't have that to lead in, and Weehaw will now reveal himself in the lane, and it looks like they're just doing a bit of a lane swap now, just allowing Mirana to start to rotate. Nice timing as well, the fact he'll be able to refill his bottle, and maybe even look to try and go for something in the mid lane, where they've got the Bane at the moment, trying to find the levels here for his ultimate.
Yeah, and I think that's where they were happy for Envy just to trade that harass, knowing that he'd be able to get that rune, and Bulba smoked up on his own. This is not a one-hero smoke gank that you're really going to find too much of. 8 minutes in the game, you want to kind of take like a 2-hero kill combo, like take a Tusk with a Gyro or Tusk with a Zeus. Tusk alone just ends up wasting that smoke and running right into a solo hero who he can't even touch. And Secret just going to continue to control the map. They get vision up in the Radiant jungle, so they're now the ones with superior map control, a much stronger lineup. They've got the farm advantage, the level advantage, and DC. Any fight they want to take, they're going to have superior numbers. They're going to have to be taking like 3v2 kind of fights, 4v3s.
He's just picking up people across the map. Zeus came in for farm in the mid lane. Dead again. And this time I believe it was with a Nightmare set from Bane now. Shards onto E. He's just going to jump over them. He's fine. And 8-0 at the moment. Secret just walking all over the side of DC, and they just don't seem to have an answer at all. The net worth difference for the individuals is certainly starting to rack up now, with Tiny on 4.5k, the closest being this Jar on 2.5, and it's going to be a pretty decent timing here on the Blink if that's what Weehaw wants to go straight for, and also Misery as well on top of his tread, 1600 gold. So we're going to see double Blink coming out within the next few minutes for Secret, and when these kind of heroes are jumping in your faces, if your DC's lineup, there's not a lot you can do to react.
Yeah, it's only 8 kills right now, and DC can kind of stay away. They're lacking boots on Biryu as well as just really getting punished. But once the blinks come up, that's where this kill score could quickly go from bad to absolutely shockingly bad. And I just don't really see a good counterplay for them.
Bottom lane, Ush moving in onto EE. He's got the lead though. He's going to be fine. They just don't have the control here between these two heroes to get him. They're going to need to rely on a rotation maybe from the Tuscan door. Top lane is the Nightmare setup. Misery comes in with the crush, and Bury's just going to melt. Dominating streak now for Misery, and now Bulba's come in, but it's a little bit too late. They're just going to turn around. Pylite down with a Fiend's Grip from the sidelines. It's going to be another kill here for the duo. Double kill for Misery. And DC are just throwing heroes at the side of Secret in what's becoming an absolute train wreck for the side. Aui's going to be lucky that there's someone to tether over to there, as with that haste rune, he was very close to be going for it. But just getting outclassed at the moment by Secret, and that's your blink on Tiny. There's a blink on its way for Slardar. Will miss the avalanche here. TC's got to be careful now as both Puppy and Pi come in. Oh, the arrow. The arrow connected, and with this, he'll find one, he'll find two. Double kill for Eternal Envy.
They're just styling on them.
I mean, they are. This is one of the reasons why Team Secret's kind of tipped to be pretty good in this tourney, and that's Ush dead. Okay.
This is like like the 5th grader like bullying the little kindergartner right now. This is just not fair. It just feels like they're just bigger, better in every single way, and there's nothing DC can do right now. 13-0. They've got to be pretty demoralized at this point.
There we go. Mid tower's going to fall here. Not a lot the DC can do in reaction. Misery's there as well, just in case anyone dares to TP in. Ready to jump on them, but this is all looking a little bit too grim and a little bit too real here for DC at the moment.
And as far as anything DC can do, like group up as 5, go for a smoke, and try and find and isolate a hero. But Secret so far ahead, they're probably not going to be too concerned about that. They can, if they scat out the smoke, they've got the instant blink escape, so there's no guaranteed like catch. If you find the Slardar or the Tiny, they blink away, you can't snowball them as well, because you can blink away from the snowball coming in. The only thing to stop that is going to be like a Thunder God's Wrath to disable the blink daggers. So life gets very difficult. Here's the kind of 4-5-man smoke gank I was talking about. DC are just praying that they run across someone who either doesn't react quickly, and well,
Misery, if they commit them out, needs to step up the reaction times here, guys.
Exactly what I was kind of talking about. You scout the smoke out, you blink away.
Okay, well, they do get the cooldown out here. Misery's moving in onto TC. They've got the Winter's Curse as well to control Misery, but Puppy Graves himself, he's going to be able to keep himself alive. TP's away, they might lose Misery. Oh, they'll get a kill here, DC. Double kill though for Weehaw as they just turn around the rest of the team onto TC. Weehaw and let it all out. Mr. E himself chasing it down. Triple kill for Wee. Buryu's now the retreat to the bottom right, but They should be able to find this as well as the arrow flies through. Birria will be able to duke it out, but Weehar's there. You're not going to be able to duke that. GG's called. 12 minutes in, 17 for 1. Weehar ending with an ultra kill. And Digital Chaos, DC,
Digital
from the
crushed.
game.
That was absolutely brutal. I mean, I can hear the Russians just yelling like, yes, DC got a kill.
It was, I mean, it's
they
something.
were cheering for it. But yeah, get a kill, tap out. I mean, DC, I hope they'll just kind of laughing at that point, like, yeah, we just got crushed by one of possibly the best team in the world. Let's just make sure we go out with a single kill so we're not getting blanked.
Just a bit unfortunate that Misery decided to feed. So, come on, Misery, step it up for game 2, son. We want a clean scoreboard next time, but not great for DC, but kudos to them, allowing us to keep the show on the road and keep our games on schedule. As well, we'll be back for game 2 shortly. I guess we send over to the panelists now.
Yeah, we actually get to throw.
We get to throw to the panel. I think the panel are ready. No, they don't look ready, but we'll throw to them anyway.
I'm getting the thumbs up from Shiva.
Okay,
so.
let's go over to the panel.
Thank you so much, OD and Gods. Well, Digital
Yeah, we're in the draft, so we kind of have to get.
10 seconds remaining.
Can we go live too?
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Ready?
It's going already.
We're we're on camera. Hi everyone.
Does that work?
I don't know.
Quick chat, please save us.
We're back and we're ready. It's game number 2 of Team Secret going against Digital Chaos here. We just witnessed in game number 1 Digital Chaos. Well, they got shut down pretty hard. It was what, a 13-minute GG? Whew, hard stuff. We'll have to see if they're gonna be bouncing back. And
First ban Meepo.
And we're gonna have to see. Draft well underway here. First ban's gonna be Meepo from Digital Chaos. Secret gonna be Ridding of the Darkseer. I'm calling out that Digital Chaos just need to do something. I want to say fun, but they need to do something different. Think outside the box. It's clear you're underdogs here. Just go ham. You know.
I would also like to hear feedback if I'm still shouting. That would be great. Until then, I'm just gonna talk like this. It's gonna be amazing.
Guys.
And Digital Chaos, I feel like they should just pick. I feel like AY, who is drafting right now, should just ask, hey, what do you want to play? What hero do you just want to try and crush
Maybe
your
he's
opponent
already
with?
doing that in game 1. Who
I
knows?
don't think he was. They're trying to pick a plan that doesn't really fit them, if that makes sense.
Ban out on the Doom from DC. Secret going to be ridding of the Ogre here. A particular awkward kind of a ban.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything that they would need to fear from an Ogre, and I don't foresee Digital Chaos. Well, Owie does like to play Ogre pretty often, but I don't think it's a big of a threat. And they open up with a Lich here. Not that they have the Doom, or obviously the Doom being banned, but they're confident in that they want to grab the Lich here. Now,
Lich is a lane winner.
Lich is a lane winner. As I was going to say, is if you want to win a lane, you put a Lich in it.
Well,
So
we
they
said that
obviously have a big emphasis on one of their lanes they want to secure.
DC wants to win the lane, right? Or needs to win the lane.
Not with a Lich on the other side. So there's going to be one lane that they might have a little bit of trouble with. Unless you think there's going to be something better that they could do to contest a Lich lane.
Okay, you know what?
IO Tiny.
Digital Chaos,
Sasquatch.
to me, I think they should draft a Chen. I mean, something a little bit different. Aoi knows how to play it well. And more importantly, Chen is quite good against Lich. We saw,
Puppy himself did it.
yeah, Team Secret did it against EG, I believe,
Yeah,
in
you're
the
correct.
MLG finals. So, you know, there's that.
Got to be careful with a Chen. I think it's one of those like 5th picks. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, you don't pick it early, but
Hey, if we're talking about lane winners and about heroes that are good against Chen,
10 seconds.
what do you think about a Visage?
against Chen or Lich.
Lich,
Owie
sorry.
plays a wonderful Visage.
He does.
I mean, the thing about Lich is it's not only about the harassment, it's more about the experience. We saw, I think, a Lich off lane against an Ember Spirit, and you would think, oh yeah, you know, Ember Spirit's gonna
10 seconds.
be fine, but Ember Spirit got crushed. And mostly it was due to the EXP denial, so I'm a little bit concerned in that regards. Team Secret gets to get a second pick Shadow Fiend on the Radiant side. That's just strange to me.
Why?
He's so good on the Radiant side. I thought,
Why
you know,
is it strange then?
it
That
should
he's
be
let
banned.
through.
He's let through to get picked so deep into the draft.
Well,
You
I mean,
know-
you look at DC's bans, it's
And
you know, Meepo and he probably could have waited on the Meepo for second phase.
Exactly,
But you got to
so-
get rid of Doom.
The thing is, Secret has picked Meepo in the first 2 before, and I think that previous game, during the draft, you know, we were talking about Meepo. And I
Mhm.
think that they were constantly having Meepo in mind, and they just want to get that factor out of the way, so in a way it makes
That's
sense.
fair. That's
But
fair.
yeah, Shadow Fiend is still really good on Radiant, and Ouya plays a really good Shadow Fiend as well, so, I mean, it's a trade-off. Is it the better one? I'm not sure about that.
I think Meepo definitely could take over a game much more than a Shadow Fiend can. So
Yes, I
There's
would agree
that.
with that. And Shadow Fiend is also maybe easier to control in the laning stage if you're planning on having some heavy rotating supports.
Wouldn't mind seeing like a Spirit Breaker here now for DC. Very good at being able to bully the Shadow Fiend. He will have the benefit of a Lich nearby, but I don't even think a Lich would be able to really deal with a Spirit Breaker. So I'm curious to see if DC want to take like this Tusk and put him in tandem with the Spirit Breaker and just have these bruising brothers. Really just kind of make for a great high octane kind of a game.
sure. The only thing Lich can do against Spirit Breaker is to get a point into Frost Armor a little bit earlier, maybe a level 3,
10 seconds.
and then TP in and put that Frost Armor on Shadow Fiend if he does get ganked. But you're absolutely right. It's not exactly the best response against the Spirit Breaker. But DC goes into a Bane pick themselves, we saw exactly what Bane could have done earlier. I mean, that's another way to tackle against the Shadow Fiend is get that smoke gank going.
They could also still get that Mirana. Ush loves playing core Mirana.
Yes.
Okay.
And they
Maybe
just
they're
saw
like,
it
we
work.
saw what you did, we could do it a bit better.
And it's a lane-winning duo as well. You know that, or at least rather, as Lumi pointed out, it's not a lane-losing duo. Like they're gonna at least play even.
Yep.
And at best they are like, or they're gonna win. It's either one of those two, unless they get so massively outplayed, in which case, you know, they would have lost anyways.
To be Bane Mirana is actually a very good against a Lich dual lane. First of all, if you're running a duel lane yourself, the sacrifice experience doesn't hurt as much. And when Lich comes up to give you that little bit Nova Blast, you're like, no. I Nightmare you,
Screw you, Lich.
I arrow you, and I kill you, right? Like, that's something that you could...
Yeah.
That the Lich has to pay attention if there's a Bane Mirana on the other side. So,
yeah.
We'll see how Team Secret responds with this.
Night Stalker is still in the pool.
It is.
If they want to, you know, could be very
it's
helpful.
so surprising to see that hero making it through so far in the draft. Even though like some teams favored him in first 2 picks.
You said Puppy thought he's the OP hero, right?
Puppy, no, that's not no.
He doesn't like it.
He doesn't like it because he's a game-changing hero, and he knows it's
So-
good
Right, so why doesn't he pick it?
because he doesn't like it.
Okay. All right.
This guy's a TI champion. Don't question him.
yeah.
All right. He's also
No,
coming off a
and no,
very nice
he
MLG win.
said like he doesn't like it. Like I'll play it, but you know I don't like it.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
You know, same way Universe doesn't like Darkseer, but
you gotta enjoy the
Yeah,
game
yeah,
first
yeah.
before you know. Yeah.
and the Slardar.
Night Stalker is really good against the Bane, by the way.
Look at these armor guys here: Lich, Shadow Fiend, and now Slardar.
Dazzle this time already banned out though.
Yes.
So
Slaughter poses a lot of problem against this DC team because sure they have some decent nuke damage, but in combination with that frost armor, he just kind of runs at you. I feel like right now DC needs one more heavy nuker to deal with that situation because Slaughter has one of the higher starting armor, right?
10 seconds
It's like 4 or 5. Or am I misremembering?
This is where we need like a Nahaz or something to get.
Yeah,
us
I mean, I
some
could
micro
literally look it
details.
up. I will do that right now.
All right, all right.
What
Put
is-
you to some use?
Yeah.
Use that phone.
So if you're gonna have a Lich Slaughter off lane,
Yeah.
Shadow Fiend mid lane, probably.
Mhm.
You leave a dual lane for Team Secret to pick up, and at this point there's a lot of freedom because which type of dual lane do you want? You probably know that you're gonna be up against the Tusk. There's a possibility that you're gonna be up against the Bane plus something as well, which is one of the wombo combos that wins lanes. I think if you're Secret, you focus on that because you know that if you win the lanes, you probably win the game because the mid game of Digital Chaos at this point is their weak point.
Certainly so, unless they get something for Ush that could really come online in that mid-game period, which I think Mirana could do if they do decide to go that. And when you get a sub like Ush, sometimes it's, when you don't have a lot of practice playing together, you do look for him to get something that he's comfortable with. And they will ask him. For now, they step off, and we're going to get the classic Bulba Clockwork here.
Oh, I
All
like
right.
that.
Mm.
I like that. I mean, if you're asking about which hero do you want to play or which hero is, you know, are you really good at, that's Bulba's hero right
He
there.
like fantasizes about this hero. He loves it.
So earlier I said that Slaughter will pose a problem if he gets to run at you. Clockwork Cogs
he
is
can
the
run.
best kind of tools to
Cog-walk.
yeah.
A
Boom.
hero I've been missing today.
Bam, that's why we have you. Yes, Shiver.
10 seconds
Where's
remaining.
Earthshaker?
We
He
saw
did
them
appear a little
earlier.
bit earlier today, but I do agree that just in general for 6.85, it has been a few and far between for
Yeah.
Earthshaker. And he's typically the ones like when you get these these snowball, high accelerated lineups, he's there to kind of just slow the roll. And we saw how much work he did in that Earthshaker game where he assisted in the mid lane ganks. So
I think Earthshaker is not as good in a 2-1-2 lane because think about the best kind of offlaner nowadays. We see Darkseer,
5 seconds remaining.
Tusk, Doom. Those kind of offlane, even if you put 2 heroes against him, he could get some farm. Shaker, you put 2 heroes against him, he's not getting any farm. I think that's a big difference there. And also like a hero like Tusk, who, if you kind of compare Fissure and Ice Shards, sort of kind of get the blocky initiation type of initiation block, but Tusk, to me, much stronger laner, could get a lot more done once it's level 6 compared to a Shaker. Shaker doesn't get anything done until he gets a dagger, so I think the offlane Shaker has really fallen off.
Really love this pickup from Team Secret here. It's something Puppey likes to go for, Disruptor. They have great ways to punish or at least capitalize on a good glimpse setup with a Crush or even a Requiem, let's say. Kinetic Field could lock a group together and make for a death trap with a Lich Chain Frost.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
synergy amongst the team.
And right now, Team Secret, they have immense chase potential as well. Obviously, Clockwork is still a really good one to try and stop that from happening. And Queen of Pain can blink away, but you'll get the vision with not just the Thunderstrike, but you get an amplified damage for the vision as well. And it is just Queen of Pain is just gonna get glimpse back. So there's really a lot of control coming out from Team Secret.
Huskar ban from DC. That's pretty interesting. I don't know Secret to play Huskar very often, but then again, Secret have been showing me heroes that they'll pull out, like Elder Titan, let's say, like ASL1. They'll just do what they feel is right. Love the Mirana ban. Even with the Clockwork pickup, I'm like, this is looking like a Mirana grab. Clockwork can help out also set up those arrows. We already know Bane to do it, and I think that was a great ban there from Secret. And now it might be another one of those positions that DC's in where it's like, ugh, they have figured us out. Now what do we do to make up for it? What is the next possible Ush grab here outside of this Mirana?
Would you go Gyrocopter again?
It's not bad. Clockwork Hogs definitely set you up quite well.
Yep, just waiting for Dakota.
Yeah, I
Lumi,
think so.
and
Queen of
Shiver.
Pain gives you that
Production's
mid-game
requesting that you
kind of
stop
magic
yanking on the
damage.
mics
You
because
kind of
apparently
want to
it
have some
breaks it
physical
very
damage to go
easily.
with
It's very
that.
fragile.
It is something to take away the Nightmare as well. If you set something up, you can rock a barrage next to the target.
Sure.
And it's an
Ursa.
Well, I mentioned Ursa.
They did it.
I'm not sure if this is level 1
No, I don't think it is.
No. And you know what? Secret Sea and Ursa, I think that even they would check.
Hey, are you really picking an Ursa into Lich armor?
And you have Clockwork.
Well, the Lich Armor is not that big of a deal considering that you have Overcharge.
I guess it's
your
yep.
Now the Windrunner is... Okay, I think the same point stands. Digital Chaos need to do very well with the lane, and I think this draft to me is much better than the Game 1's draft.
For DC.
For DC, yeah.
I definitely like it.
It's much
a bit
more even.
Spunky.
Yeah.
It's another one of those things that if this does not start working at the start of the game, if their mid game is starting to fizzle out, there is no hope for them.
There's a lot of early game kill potential, right? A Nightmare into a clap, that's a kill.
Snowball, bringing
Yeah.
Ursa into the
That's
fray.
a kill.
Easy,
So
you know.
I would not count DC out from this draft.
But I feel like there's a lot of pressure on them to do well
In the
that
laning
first
stage.
quarter of the game.
I agree.
They
I
got to
agree.
do it. And this is their best chance. If they drop this game, they will have 0 points after 2 heats of play. Secret will confidently start at the top of their group with a good 3-point crush. So we'll have to see if that's going to be the action here. Interesting also to see that Secret, they flipped the script a bit. Weeha's going to be playing the Shadow Fiend, and Eternal Envy is going to be playing the Wind Ranger there. I almost was thinking about saying that, you know, it is possible that they could run the safe lane Shadow Fiend on Envy and then just still get a Wind Ranger for Weeha, but they'll flip the script a bit, and we're going to get into the game here. Let's go ahead and throw over to our casters right now. It's going to be Mr. Odie, Pixel, and Gods. Gentlemen, have some fun.
Thank you very much, Dakota, and we certainly will. Game 2 here between DC and Secret, and I think as Lumi was saying on the panel, I'd have to agree, I'm preferring DC's draft this game. I reckon we're going to see at least a solid 5 kills here for the side of the die. I mean,
when you said you prefer their draft, maybe it was like you like their draft more than Secret's like
no,
compared to last game.
Compared to last game from DC, I think they've stepped it up here. I'm kind of liking what they're running with. The Ursa's always a bit of a risky one, but I'm always up for seeing what TC can do on the man. And I mean, Secret's draft in comparison is I don't know, the fact that they've got Misery again on that Slardar. I remember looking at like his win rate so far. It's ridiculous. It's I think it's like above 80%. I'm sure some stat man will be able to find out, but he's been having a pretty good time on Slardar this patch, and we saw why in the first game where he's incredibly impactful. He knew the limits of the hero perfectly. And he was just able to outplay that Gyro IO lane, of course, with the help of Puppey on Dazzle. Puppey this game on Disruptor. Another one of those supports that, if you know what you're doing with him, he is incredibly scary in the laning stage and just in the rotations catching people out.
Bit of a fight brewing here. Secret with superior numbers.
I mean, and then with this shackle to set it up, Misery just moves in with a crush onto Howie. Howie hits the shards, but it's not going to do anything. That's going to be your first blood there going to Puppey. Honestly, I think he got the first blood in the first game, didn't he, on the Dazzle? And here we go. Crush onto her. She's going to be the shackles there as well. Can they kill him? Oh, not quite. But, okay.
He can't afford a salve. This lane's actually lost for him in the mid lane. Pilot's just going to run forward. He's got another Nova soon. Oh boy, you've got to stay out of range of this.
This isn't the best way for us to start this lane, unfortunately.
Oh, don't worry, Clock's 3 farming though.
Okay.
He got a bounty rune 3 farming. We're good.
And it is the Bulba clock.
Yeah.
This is a thing of legends.
Oh, yes.
Mainly for good reasons as well. So
Or maybe we'll bring back those legends if we get a Liquid versus LGD match.
oh yeah,
We could see the repeat, although that would be mind control, not Bulb on the clockwork in that scenario. I want to see it happen.
it may do, but DC have got to.
I don't think
they've
it's
gotta
going to
step it
happen
up.
from DC. They're not
No.
going to go far. Perhaps.
Well, we don't know. We've only
No.
seen. Well, actually, I've seen 3 of their games today, and they weren't pretty.
They were.
But
were
earlier they weren't. They
competitive.
weren't
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
earlier. They were not bad earlier. They actually did all right, but they didn't win. But they'll be trying their best this time. I mean, bottom lane, you've got Buryu, forcing back EE here with the Bane, allowing the space for TC to get the farm on the Ursa.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a question of how much the Ursa can do. Obviously, as the panel was saying, just having Buryu to set up a Nightmare into clap and then getting those swipes in. It's definitely kill potential.
An interesting choice to put the Ursa in the offlane. It's going to get
Yeah.
a lot less farm, but this kind of guarantees Clockwork to get good experience as well as farm himself in the safe lane. I don't know if this is really the ideal way to lane things here. You're giving Misery just the good early game start he's going to need to get levels. You can't completely zone him out with a Tusk Clockwork lane, but already we do see Clock level 3, so it looks like Misery actually not getting any farm out of the lane. 0 last hit so far, so seems DC know what they're doing with the laning setup.
Yeah, Sam's clocks is looking pretty good so far. Puppy's going to be able to find himself a haste rune here. We'll see if he's able to do anything with it. It's still just level 1, so it's going to be a hard shout.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of this game is kind of on Bulba here. On him getting the 6 and then seeing what he can do with it across the map and see if he can contribute to getting those kills. I mean, as you said, the fact that he's doing well against Misery, there may even be kill potential on this top lane if Aoi finds a good position to get him with the Tusk Snowball.
Yeah, Bulba's already got boots, in fact, as well, so has that initiation tool on Misery, just a level 1 sprint. Can't really get away from a battery assault should it come out.
Misery's just moving in it, giving a few slaps and forcing Bulba back.
And good lane, just making, whenever he's going to look to fight Bulba, it's going to be when he has 2 or 3 creeps next to him. So Bulba doesn't want to use a battery assault that Misery can just walk away from and would end up just being wasted mana. Seems that Puppy as well as Envy in here in the safe lane, just looking to continually pull, deny XP away from TC as well as Biryu. You can see here, despite the harass that Biryu is putting out, Windrange is still out-farming the Ursa for the time being.
Now he just at the moment, I guess kind of working out where he's going to be most used. Mid lane Ush, he's got to be careful. Weeheart getting the razors in, bringing him low. He has got a salve on him, so...
Whoa, 2 last hits, 3 denies.
It's not great.
This is the one lane we haven't talked about or really looked at.
I was trying to avert it just in case the DC fans out there didn't want to have painful...
This goes back to that level 1 fight. Ush didn't get the bounty rune, couldn't buy a salve, almost died. So he went to lane with 100 HP and no money to buy a salve. And then when he can afford a salve, he brings it out. He gets such a late bottle as a result of this. And by late bottle, I mean he hasn't even got one just yet. We're looking at like a 4.5 minute bottle at this rate. Choo choo.
This is it. Here is the...
Let's say
this is the Ush rescue train coming in.
Yep.
Here
Mid
to
lane's a
rectify
disaster.
the mid lane. Let's see if they can do it.
Okay.
Alright, here we go. Are you ready for this play from DC? It's going to be insane. And they actually might get the kill here. They have Nightmare to set up onto Weehaw. Ush blinks it as well. And okay, it's a lot of hate and it gets the job done. DC there with a 4-man gank on the mid lane. Killing Weehaw. And understandably, it's a high priority kill. I'm all for throwing those heroes in.
It felt like slightly overkill as far as bringing in all 4 heroes, but ultimately making sure they get the kill because they don't know who's going to TP in as a counter gank. If someone like Misery TPs in, gets a stun off.
Oh, they're going for it again.
God.
They're like, hey, this works. Let's try it again. They do have Pylai Die hanging around with Weehaw.
And it was Lumi who kind of talked about this. They haven't got a good defensive support here to keep Weehaw alive. And he kind of joked like the only thing you can do is get like a point in Ice Armor and then TP in an Ice Armor Weehaw, but you have no good counterplays here for Secret. So they poke their noses out there looking for SF, and while they'll avoid this gank, Weehaw can't really farm all too well. He also is going to be too scared to go into his own jungle to farm with these aggressive heroes around. Luckily, that was a nice kinetic field. That just scouts him out there. They walk into it, and it does give a bit of vision.
Yeah, Pylai Die moving around here as well. He knows something fishy's going on. Scaring DC away. Puppy's there as well, and he'll put the field down at Biryu. Could be in trouble. The shards are nice. They do keep Weehaw away. With a Thunder Strike, Biryu's going to get fairly low. He's going to be fine. But of course, all this attention on the mid lane means that there's space elsewhere. Bottom lane, EE's been having pretty much free farm now. 27, 28 for 4 here on the Wind Ranger. And top lane as well, Misery not doing too bad now. Catching up with Sam on the clock. 16 for 5 against the 22 for 4. So Misery's going to have that amplifying line pretty shortly. knowing the man, he may even find an opening to try and get a kill onto Sam.
Yeah,
It's going to be a hard one, though.
Sam will be hitting level 6 before Misery, but it's still not easy just to hook yourself onto Misery. Misery's going to know that. He's going to be ready, positioning himself such that he doesn't get caught out by a quick level 6. I can only imagine. I say that now, and probably cast a curse strikes, and the opposite will happen. But there we go. Bob was hit level 6. Misery would have spotted that, and I doubt we'll see a kill right away from this.
Yeah, I mean, with Owie there as well, you know, he just has to play careful, Misery. They have the potential to trap him up for a fair bit of time. And you're going to have Quap coming up as well, looking for the 6-minute rune. If it's something nice, it's not, unfortunately, for us. It's just a bounty, so he won't really be able to take that top. There's going to be a double damage here for Weeha, so she's just going to have to be that bit more careful in the mid lane in case he overextends.
And TP up on Envy, so you've got a level 6 Wind Ranger who can TP counter gank at the top lane should you get too aggressive on Misery. And Misery, right now, seeing on no mana, but he's got 5 stick charges and a mango, so chances are if you go on him, he's going to have easily enough mana for a crush, possibly even a second crush with the stick charges, so very dangerous and risky proposition to go for that kill. Level 4 power shot now as well from Envy.
I mean, so far, though, this game going a lot better for DC compared to game 1. I mean, top lane, they might even find Misery here. They've caught him out in the cogs. They've got Owie hanging around as well. Misery does get the 2-man crush shot. Oh, is he going to get out with the sprint? No, the snowball's been saved. Very nicely done there by Owie. Closes the gap, and they will get the kill onto Misery. And that's pretty big. We saw how much Misery could do if you kind of let him get that early game footing in game 1, and this time DC aren't giving him the same amount of chances.
Yeah, they're in the lead for now, as far as kills go. Overall farm, though, I don't think, not looking as good. This is a lot of it just the mid lane problem where Ush only now is picking up his boots with the bottle 7 minutes in. SF, despite dying once, is still going to be out farming Queen of Pain pretty handily. And for now, Secret just happy to play this farm game. The one kill on the slider, not really the biggest deal in the world for them. Misery's still getting levels, which is above all else what he needs right now. The Blink Dagger will come with time, and Secret just happy to play a kind of slower paced tempo compared to last game.
Yeah, and the thing as well with the slider is there's always going to be space for him to find the blink because you've got EE on that win range, that very active carry. You know, pair him up with Puppey, moving around the map, catching people out with glimpses. You've already got the kill potential there, so it's just really going to be just more threats added once Slardar does have the blink, and not necessarily something that Secret need to find action. And DC are looking for a smoke up here. I like this, you know, Bulba's hit 7, he's maxed out the battery, has the hook shot as well, may just look for the free kill onto Puppey. And well, the glimpse is going to be there, and Puppey says, nope, I'm out of here. And he's been rumbled. So Clock's not going to find that one. The Nightmare's thrown out by Biryu, but they decide to get themselves out of DC, realizing that this is not the time to fight, as there is a bit of reaction coming in. Pilar just fending him off here.
That was a smoke gank and everything. They were really hoping for a kill there, but having the glimpse, I mean, you've got to hit the hook before the glimpse, and you can probably bring down Puppey since he'll glimpse you, but you at least get a good amount of damage off, and he's going to go in now.
That's a nice one. There's the Sam hook shot straight back in on Puppey. Where's your glimpse out now, my friend? On cooldown. No way for Puppey to stop him this time, and nicely done there by Sam, hanging around and getting himself the kill.
So this is just creating some good space elsewhere on the map. AUI at the top lane trying to get some experience TC farming Ancients. Likely see him head towards the Roshan pit, probably around the level 7, level 8 mark. He won't have the max out Fury swipes until level 8, but always that threat of a Rosh.
Is that smoke coming out of the courier now? Is he just... Yes, it is. Okay.
He's going to do it. No, he went for another point in overpower. I'm wondering, this is still likely a Rosh build from him. He's going to farm up the Ancients once or twice more, maybe.
Okay, I mean, if he can sneak the Roshan from Secret, that's going to be pretty huge for the side here. I mean, they're already sitting at 3-1. It is really that mid lane's efficiency that's the biggest threat at the moment for DC. The fact that you have got Weeha farming at an incredible pace, 4.3k net worth compared to, well, Ush's 2.9k. So a good 1.5 in it at just 9 minutes in is quite a lead here for the SF.
So we'll see what TC looks to do with this smoke. Anytime you use a smoke for something like a Rosh as an Ursa, it is taking away 1 from your team, which at this stage they'd really like to be able to use. Bulba's so close to popping this one.
Yeah, they found him as well. He has got a hook shot. He's going to be able to get himself out. No, with the crush, not a chance here for the Clockwork. And Secret, and they're going to head forward. They're going to go for TC here. If they can get the vision, there is a glimpse available. Not quite got the range here, though, with just the 2 points in it. And TC's going to be able to keep his life intact. But another pick off there. Now Misery heading up to top lane. Now he's out of mana here. He's got the Arcanes in 10, but it's actually going to be long enough. He's got a snowball, but wow, he's potentially a goner here. With the TP reaction, though, it's going to push Misery back. The fact that Biryu's then does have level 6 as well, so could maybe turn this with Ush turning up as well with a DD. They'd love to find Misery, but the TP reactions are coming in. The Ice Shards didn't connect, so the damage wasn't there. There's going to be a Fiend Script straight up if he comes in, and he doesn't. Puppey says, I've done my job. I've scared them back. You know, he saved Misery with that TP attempt. And, yeah, being careful not to throw his life away, so smart move there from Puppey.
Elsewhere on the map, Secret just finding good trades. DC commit a lot of heroes up top, don't get a kill. Meanwhile, they're losing a bottom tier 1. They're going to take damage at mid. We are continuing to free farm, working towards what looks like a sand.
Ooh, this could be big if they can find Weeha here. They've got Ush coming in as well with a Sonic Wave. Very nicely done, but the shackle shots there from EE. Gets them both, turns around the razors and the Chain Frost to the face. Secret just turn it round and Weeha salves up and he says, you up, mate. He's fine.
NB's going to be feeling pretty good about that one.
Yeah, that was a pretty big shackle from the man. Ooh, okay, that's a free kill.
What is that range?
All right. Okay.
I mean, once you start casting it doesn't get cancelled, so...
Even Ice Frog offering his sympathies here to DC and helping them out.
So...
Oh, they might find more though. Maybe it's Secret needs to be a bit more careful. And then we'll get to get the shards. Oh, is he looking for a turn? Is he looking for a shackle? He's a little bit low on mana. He's not going to go for it this time.
Still sitting on the smoke here. Maxing out overpower. DC is going to be...
It's going to be hard to sneak it.
Yeah, it's such an obvious play whenever you've got an Ursa on your team, and unless you see like Secret pushing the top tier 1 tower, which is likely going to happen at some stage fairly soon, next couple of minutes, maybe next 5 minutes. They've taken the tier 1 bottom as well as mid. That's going to be where DC look to make like a beeline towards the Roche pit. They also don't have Sonic Wave for another minute, so not really an ideal time. If you want to go for Roche as Ush, like try and sneak on in there, as TC and try and sneak a Roche, you've got to have your team ready to take a fight around the pit as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And Misery. So with that, I guess he's just looking for the 4-star of this game. Against the clock, realizes he's not having the best of times this time in terms of getting that blink on early, so the force is going to be fairly nice here. And also just for being able to kite the Ursa. If Ursa locks down on someone, just being able to save a teammate here with the forces is going to be pretty nice this game.
They may as well get like 2, 3, 4 stars on the side of Secret. It's such a good item in this game. Wouldn't be surprised to see like Lich, Disruptor go for them on their supports. A Wind Ranger maybe more likely to go for the big DPS items, but for now, Secret, 2 smokes in a row, just kind of looking to scout out the Roshan pit, worried about TC sneaking it, but I mean, for now, TC just showing good patience, not going for it, throwing away what I wouldn't really call a lead. They were at least like a stable game for DC here in the early game. If anything, after that shackle at mid, it is now a Secret advantage. All 3 of their core heroes.
Oh, Sam with a hook shot onto E, but he just turns around with the shackle shot. Ush comes in with a nice screen, brings them low, but the crush is there. The Chain Frost is out. Double kill for Wee, and TC, he's left alone here trying to retreat. He has got backup coming in from Aoi and Biryu. The ice shards there nicely saving the Ursa for the time being. They can't actually... Okay, Misery's still closing in. TC wants to fight this though with the swipes, but he's got to be careful of the crush, and Weeha's just pushing back Aoi. Says, get out of here. It's going to be also a TP out from Biryu, so...
That was a sick ice shots from the...
It was a very nice
down,
ice shots
down
from
in the
Aoi.
bottom rune. I don't think they'd spotted him. Oh, they probably did by this ward, but they didn't realize he was going to go get that nice little block off. Really nice individual play, but ultimately it's not the kind of play that's going to turn around this game or help get your cause any more farm. You've still got a 7.2k net worth Shadow Fiend, double the farm on your Quap, and only slightly less than double the Ursa's farm.
Is this the Roshan time? It looks like it is from TC. Smokes up from the tier 2. He's going to head into the pit. And can he sneak it from Secret? Do you think... I mean, there's a D... Oh, it's a shame he didn't see that. But I guess they've got a ward there, so we could have taken it.
You take it, they see it go missing, and then...
Oh, is he going to check it?
I don't think so. I think this is a very good timing from TC, because he just died, and like the insta-respawn TP mid and smoke into Roshan. Like, you've just lost a fight, you've lost a lot of map control, you've given Secret a big advantage. This is a kind of surprise factor coming into play here, and Secret will get caught by...
I mean, the thing is, with 3 of them here on the side of Secret, they, even when they see it's down, they could possibly just go and kill him twice.
Yep.
That's the issue. Are they going to make a reaction quick enough? Are they going to go for it? Yeah, Puppey. He's maybe going to look for the glimpse here if he gets the vision, but TC's going to make the wise decision of heading to the east and gets himself away from the Disruptor's glimpse range.
I really like this build. Puppey's been doing this the last few times I've seen him play Disruptor. It goes for more in the Thunderstrike. With the buffs it got, it gets down to a 9-second cooldown when maxed out, so he's been maxing it with the glimpse. Normally gets the glimpse maxed out first, but with this Tranquil Soaring, he's got constant mana sustain to just spam out this nuke, which does a lot of damage. 100 damage over 4 ticks at a 9-second cooldown. That's really useful spell to have around this stage of the game.
Moving forward here, Secret. They want to try and find a fight against DC. DC, she's just going to TP out Bulb here. Do they get the vision? No, not quite in time there. Probably couldn't quite get in vision here for the glimpse. And that's going to be forcing Clock back to base, of course. Mr. Eternal Envy still looking good in the farms department, 1100, and he will have that Aghanims on the Swim Ranger. So very close to that. Secret actually going to smoke up here. The rocket flare passing over will just catch vision of Pylai.
But that rocket should have scattered someone though. Like they just backed off. I don't know if that's like a sign that they smoked or not. We'll see. It doesn't look like they're backing off here.
They're going
with
to try and
Usher.
go for Rush potentially hit.
He's in a rough
They're going to
spot.
need to get the lead in here with Puppy. And it's going to be there. They've got the glimpse into the Static Storm. Nowhere for Rush to run, and that'll be another kill there for Secret. Dominating the street now for Weeheart. More money in the bank here as Shadow Fiend, and he's been having a pretty good game here, Weeheart. And off the back of that, they'll look to just push mid, and with Usher not in the game for 30 seconds, it's not going to be a huge amount that DC can do to stop this.
Very much where like one 4-man gank on Weeha has no overall impact on the
Not
game
at all.
if you don't follow it up with more pressure, more ganks, and taking towers and objectives. They've yet to take a tower on the side of DC. It looks like they may do so now with Secret 5-manning down the mid lane, but defend top and AUI in some trouble.
Oh, look at this damage. Easy pick off for Weeheart with the DD. And bottom lane is going to be a shackle to TC. He's going to need some kind of help, though. He's been left on his own here. Bulba closing in as well as Buri just holds him in place from the sidelines. And they'll get the kill onto the Wind Ranger here. So very, very nice. And big pick off there for DC, getting Eternal Envy off the map for 40 seconds. And look at the tier 1 bottom. It will be a trade, though. Tier 1 being pushed by Shadow Fiend on the top lane.
It's a bit too greedy. I think Secret are like, oh, we're so far ahead. We just took a tier 2, and they see DC pushing bottom and top, and they're like, okay, let's defend now. They could only really have defended one of the 2 tier 1s, and for some reason they kind of tried to defend both.
Ush is a goner. Misery straight in with the force blink. That's not force blink, the force crush. Follow-up chain just to ensure that Ush has no chance of this game.
This game not getting any more happy right now. He's brought down once more. 4 deaths. Very little he's been able to get done this game. And for Secret, it's very much just go from tower to tower. They're going to probably remain fairly grouped up just because they're so much stronger. They've got such a big item advantage.
Bulba. Oh, Bulba. Static Storm's dropped down onto the clock where bashes as well from Misery. They'll have a defensive nightmare hit to buy some time for Bulba. Will get himself out of the storm, but the crush is following up from Misery. They'll turn their attention towards Aoi as well. He gets a punch out, but he's going to pay with his life as a double kill comes out for the Slardar. Buri, UTC, and Ush, seeing if they can find anything in return. Misery force-staffs himself away here. They're not going to chase him. In fact, they're turning their attention back towards the rest of Secret. TC trying to close in on Weeheart. Kinetic Field's been dropped. They've got the Nightmare set up here onto Pylai Die, but just glimpsing back the Bane. Let's see if they can save Pi. Weehart's moving in here. What can he do for the sidelines? The Sonic Wave connects onto 2. Kills off the Lich, and now they'll try and chase for more. They can't catch Weeheart. They're a little bit too speedy there with the S&Y. And a bit of a messy fight, but at least DC are finding the trades each time, and they're not being totally wiped.
Yeah, unfortunately, just the Lich, and yeah, it was still a 2-for-1 where DC had the worst end of that. They are now, I feel like, yeah, must be getting further and further behind. 8,000 net worth difference, experience, similar story, and I mean, Secret are just pressing forward, taking control of all the lanes, the Dire jungle. Normally when you, like, the Radiant side take over your jungle and you're like a little bit behind, you want to counter take over their jungle. Like, have wards down here, be farming the enemy jungle. The safest place to be is this bottom lane and Radiant jungle right now for DC, because Secret don't want to play passively. They don't want to just sit back in their own jungle and farm away and stack Ancients and all that. They want to just keep playing this high-tempo Dota. So I feel like DC should be not trying to take Secret on head-on as much as they are right now, considering how weak they are and how massive the Shadow Fiend, Wind Ranger, and Slardar are.
Yeah, this Shadow Fiend is going to be... what's he built now on top of the S&Y? Is he's just saving up the money as well in the helm. 2.3k gold here for Weehaw.
Very handy item to have because you can.
Scary.
Yeah, the helm you can stack Ancients, but also later on, like when you're worried about Roche, you can just go in and camp your creep there to scout out the exact respawn and spot any potential like smoke Roche sneaks. So useful item for Weehaw, and great against just the late game carry potential this item provides. Also fantastic.
Misery now. I mean, he's saving up the gold again. After getting the 4-star, do you feel you still go back for the blink on Slardar, or do you? Is something else on the cards here for Misery?
Ooh, against this lineup, yeah, absolutely. The blink
Still got the
is the
blink,
more
yeah.
reliable initiation. The 4-star you want to save to probably get out. If you go in for like a 4-star crash to start a fight, then you get hooked. by Clockwork, you have no escape, so you generally want to hold the Force Staff a bit longer when possible.
He's got a DD. He's looking for something. Maybe. Well, okay, the static storm's there from Puppey to cancel the Fiend Script straight away here. Misery's moving in, ready to look for a crush. Can't quite close the gap. They'll turn around for a brain stab. Misery's fairly low. The hook shot's going to get whiffed here from Bulba. He goes up to the high ground, but the 3 heroes here. He's got the Blade Mail. He traps EE in it. But now Howie comes in as well with the Warriors Punch. Can they kill EE? They can. They'll get EE, but they were able to turn it around. The DC, they found one. Howie's incredibly low here as well. They're trying to find Puppey. TC moving forward, but he gets glimpsed back. The control from Puppey at this fight, absolutely beautiful. And now Weeha just slaps away at Buryu. Buryu's going to fall. Blinks forward as well. He's looking for TC. Won't be able to find the raise. TC a little bit too speedy. Misery only just getting himself out of this fight, and he'll look for the TP. Out-jukes the Quap though. Blinks up to the high ground in anticipation of a force. And TC, he's almost certainly going to go down. He'll try and turn around, but Weeha gets himself a double kill. You've got Aoi returning into this one. He's only got the mana here for a shard, so he's got to be careful here, Aoi. Because Weeha may just blink back in.
And
yeah, there he goes. Weeha blinks in. Aoi will blink off to the side though, so he's lucky to get that off just in time because Weeha is very close to picking himself up a triple.
Okay. I mean, another big team fight victory for Secret here. Losing like 1 or 2 hero there, but none of their core heroes. Weeha just cleaning up once more, and Secret are just kind of they're just uncontrollably aggressive right now. You can't stop them if you're DC. You haven't got. Even with counter initiators, they've got Clockwork as well as Tusk, but you counter initiate, they just turn and fight. You get trapped in a cogs with this Clockwork. If you're Weeha, you just keep on attacking. The Wind Ranger doesn't die inside the hook shot or inside the cogs. All of these heroes are just too farm for DC to deal with, and there isn't really a game plan which is going to work from here on out for DC. It's all going to come down to try and isolate heroes, find pickoffs, using smokes on on anyone who's by themselves. But if Secrets stick together and rotate fast with TPs, you're never going to catch anyone this game.
I mean, it's going to be down to what TC can get on this Ursa. I mean, his farm is comparable to now he's above it. Going for the S and Y here on the Bear.
Normally you'd see a Blink here, and I think he's going to really suffer for mobility against this lineup. There's the Slider with Blink, Force Staff, the Crush to control him, Disrupt a Glimpse, Shackle from a Wind Ranger, SF with a Blink Dagger. I just don't really picture him getting a whole lot done this game.
Wush. He's got to be so careful down here. He's hiding in the trees. He can't reveal himself for it, and he just did. Look for the Blink TP. It's the smart decision. Very nice. They even got the static here just in case they could have caught him, but nicely done there from Mush, getting himself back to safety. Top lane. He's going to TP out as well. It's DC that I'm going to be aware that he's around. But all things said and done, still looking very good for Secret, and this issue is the Shadow thing, because now working on the Butterfly, there's going to be a point where they just can't kill him, DC, no matter how much they throw it.
Yeah, and Ursa's got no way in this world that he's going to farm up all that range creep. Getting in the way there, but farming up like an MKB for this Ursa is just not on the cards right now, and Sam, well, the problems continue. Missed hook shot, gets pulled back in, but managed to skate his way out of that one.
He won't chase too far over the side of Secret. Just letting Weeha have some space on this bottom lane. Taking some pressure onto the tier 2.
Looks like they will defend top now as well. Slider TP's... Okay, so his TP got spotted. That's where DC knew that they needed to back off. TP 1 of the tier 2, and it means they're looking to gear up for a tier 1 TP to find those pickoffs. So it looks like, yeah, that Butterfly now just 700 gold away for Weeha.
Roshan is back up here. We'll see Bulba scout it out with a Rocket Flare. So it's going to be a question of whether DC feel that the risk and kind of the players to just go for that Roche here. They're going to almost certainly know that Secret are going to want to do something about it, but we do have them already making movements towards it. TC and Buryu. Do they head straight into the pit here? It's going to be risky. They're going to go for it.
You've got no smoke, you just walk on in. That is as ballsy as it gets, and this Radiant
It
Ward...
did just catch it.
Yeah, that would have scouted it.
So they know that he's in there, and Secret are going to head over to fight. The question is if DC have the capabilities to hold them off for long enough to allow TC to get that Roshan. We are ready to blink in, and Roshan, it's almost something going to go down, so they won't be able to stop it. Will they fight off the back of it though? Some nice wards from DC, scouting out the fight. Mystery straight in with a 2-man crush. Here we go, amplifying to Buryu. The Chain Frost bounces once. There's been a hook shot across from Bulba, but he gets glimpsed back. Weeha finishes off Buryu here on the Bane. Puppey trapped up in the cogs. Ush will just no. Yeah, it gets picked up by Aoi and brought back in on the snowball to EE. And now EE with a punch up from Aoi. He's going to just turn with a power shot. Takes down Aoi 2000, and Misery trying to desperately chase down Ush here. Ush. He's going to stand here, hope that... Okay, blinks it. Okay, gets EE. All right, he'll be happy with that one. A free kill on the way out. But it's just a question of whether he gets out. Bulba and TC are here as well. We are on the sideline. So glimpse TC out of the fight. Misery will look to try and chase this. Is he going to jump in for this? Yes, he is. Straight onto Bulba. The Amplifier's out as well. Bulba pops the Blade Mail, but Misery's just going to keep on hitting him. Godlike streak now for Weeha as he claims the kill, and TC and Usher just left packing down the lanes. They can't do anything this fight, and they've got to rectify as much as they can there. I mean, I guess the silver lining was the fact that Ush did find that kill on EE on the way out.
Yeah, it looked like Ush was like, I probably should just TP out, but no, he wanted to stay and make sure they got that win ranger, so. A big kill, a decent chunk of gold for it as well, but you're still just so far behind. Anytime I hear the Russians yell, I'm just like, are we missing something? Aren't they using my camera?
He amplified the siege creep. My goodness.
It's funny because I'm like,
player.
they're using our camera for those of you who are unaware on the stream. So the Russians are using my observer and.
Are they watching the same game as us?
Yeah,
They
I
must
just
be.
say, what are they shouting about? Like,
Wow.
come on, Owen, you're gonna find something. There's gonna be something interesting that's happening right now. It's like a game of I Spy. Like, what are they shouting at?
There we go. Misery looking for TC, and he's going to find it straight in with the crush. He's going to need a few bashes. It's hard to 1v1 this man, but when he's got Weeha turning up as well, they can certainly give it a better shot. Moving into TC and focus fire here as well from EE. TC's just going to get taken down once. They have got the Aegis on him, so he's going to be ready for round 2. Crush onto Breeze, counts the grip, but the Owie's there with the straight in onto Pilot, the Cogs get him. So Bulba will get the kill down to Pilot, but it's a double kill for Weeha. Ush comes out with the Sonic Wave, but Weeha just stands there. They just can't kill him. Triple kill for Weeha on the SF. They might get Puppy here, but Mystery's looking for the crush. Oh, it's the straight first up bash onto Biryu to stop him from getting the kill. They'll clean up the Bane here as well, only losing Pilot Die on the Lich. And again, Secret and Weeha in particular just walking circles around DC with no fear at all.
iFrog has no mercy on DC there with that first hit bash. And now we're looking at, 10k plus net worth advantage, experience, just as bad. DC just got completely cut in half here. The Ice Shards kind of blocked off 2 of the heroes on the low ground here, which sort of looked okay for them because they prevented the Secret supports getting in the fight, but it meant Ursa was completely abandoned. They kill him once, and when you've got an SF on your team, killing an Ursa once means you kill him twice, because the Requiem on the instant respawn was perfect from Weeha, and it's not even, I mean, it's a nice play to make, and definitely hats off to Weeha for having the knowledge to do it, but that was always, that's something that 9 out of 10 SFs are going to land, so.
Yeah,
DC,
you can just go by the time at the top.
Yeah, DC
but it's
in trouble.
I guess it is as well just realizing, finding the position where you're actually going to be able to get off the Requiem and taking that risk to stand there.
Well, and a lot of the time, if it wasn't for that Ice Shard's kind of blocking his path here, DC could have got there in time to back him up, used either a hook shot or the Fiend script itself onto the SF, and then you're looking at maybe Ursa respawning and getting some damage done.
Oh, here we go. They want to fight Misery straight in with the rebound crush. Oh, the Chain Frost as well here with the Static Storm. Owie's going to drop beyond Godlife for Weeha. Focus fire on Tush as he gets shackled. They glimpse back Biryu. He nightmares himself. The whole game's a nightmare, and he's out. 4 kills again for Secret. DC finding nothing this time, and TC is taking care of himself back in base.
Satanic suddenly for weak. Jeez, these items just keep coming out of nowhere. 28 minutes in, he's as big as can get.
Well, here we go. Fortification coming out from the side of DC. On the plus side, the respawn timers aren't too long, so they might be back to fight this.
This is either, one last hurrah it looks like. Otherwise they would have just GG'd out by now. So they'll respawn and try and take Secret head on. But it's going to be down the lane of Rax regardless.
Mid down, and at Secret, they've got no reason to back up here. They're just going to head up to the top. DC do have the full roster back up. Hook shot in from Bulba. Got to go on to Weeha, but didn't actually trap him, forces him out of the cogs, and Weeha just turns. Does the punch away at TC.
She Enrage on cooldown, which is a short cooldown, but Secret are just going to walk right back up to the high ground, I feel.
Nightmare onto Weeha, but it's going to come up straight away as the Ice Shards follow through from Owie.
Like he didn't get the blink with the crush there, otherwise Misery may have been.
Owie, and they've got the Fiend Script onto Weeha. That's big. They kill Weeha here. Down for 80 seconds. The shackles onto Ush, though, as EE will find the return. Owie's getting incredibly low as well. Misery just turns around, gets himself a double kill. He's been nightmared up here. Pops the BKB, looks for the TP out, will be able to get it. They haven't got anything to cancel for it at this moment in time. Misery gets Glimmer Caped up here. Maybe this is DC with a comeback. The Chain Frost is nice, but Ush blinks forward, looking for Pilot Die. He's going to go for the TP out. They can't stop that one. But they get Misery and they get Weeha. 2 massive kills there for the side of DC.
Oh, absolutely. They did buy back Queen of Pain, which negated some of the gold that they would have got out of that, but that's as good as they could hope for. They lost the lane of Rax, but they managed to take a fight that followed it and get like 2,000 gold out of those 2 kills. And well, that for DC, it's a slight silver lining. I think they're still in deep shit right now, but
It's not ideal for
Yeah.
DC. But if they can do that a couple more times,
yes.
and there is the potential to pull it back round.
And SF hasn't gone for a BKB, which was where they were able to burst him down there, prevent him from... He was really trying to just flirt around with the Satanic usage. He got down to about half HP, could have popped Satanic and life sealed off of the creep wave, but he's like, nah, I'm going to wait for the team fight to use the Satanic, and as a result, he just got punished because he held on to it for way too long and let himself get brought down to half HP without using it. And then when you don't have a BKB, you're very exposed, so... Slightly too greedy from Weeha, but ultimately does not really feel like a play that's going to cost Secret all too much here. They can group up once more. If they feel like he needs a BKB, he can go back for it. I don't even feel that's the case. I think he just needs to play and position more carefully, more so than he needs the BKB itself.
Indeed. I mean, DC off the back of that, they were able to get a few more items. So they've got the Blink Dagger now on TC. They've also managed to pick up a gem for the side. So they'll be able to get some control back of the map here. As Buri is going to be able to get that dewarding on. And hello, well, they've found Misery here with a straight up Phoenix Grip, but the Static Storm's there. They get the crush out, and Misery tries to turn out to Owie. Weeha's turned up as well. Owie just melting to the punches of Weeha. TC's looking to fight. Chainfrost comes in. Weeha will be nightmared up, but he just continues to punch away at TC. They've managed to find the kill onto Disruptor on the sidelines here. TC's just going to go down. They just do not have the damage here to deal with Weeha when there are a few heroes down in these fights. There'll be a nightmare for Buryu if he wants to try and save himself, but he can't. Weeha gets the blink out, toggled off by Parlay Die. They'll finish off the kill. Triple for Weeha. GG is called. And 31 minutes in this time. DC do manage to increase the rate of time they can stay in a game with Secret, but it's still a pretty disastrous ending for them in this series. 32 for 14 for Secret, and DC just having the tougher time today.
Yeah. DC coming in as a replacement for C9 at the last minute, playing with a stand-in. This was always going to be most likely a one-sided series. If it was anything but that, you'd be thinking like, man, Secret, what's up with them? But Secret, they do the business, they get the 2-0, and that's the important thing. 2-0's a 3.